Guys, I'm really excited to be here. I'm actually going to be, just decided a few weeks ago, actually I'm going to be moving to Florida, probably South Florida, West Palm Beach area. I'm actually going to look at houses here this weekend. And anyway, so exciting. A lot of change for me is happening. Just got married, getting started with Beyond Organic here in this past year. So a lot of good changes. I recently just wrote an ebook that came out, I believe it was February this year, and it's called Superfood Super You. And really the idea behind the book, I have some experience working with professional athletes and even some past Olympians and some that are actually going to be competing in the games. And July 27th, I'm actually going to be flying to London. I'm part of the Wellness Advisory Council, and we work with USA Wrestling, USA Judo, USA Weightlifting. It's going to be going over there as part of the physician team during the Olympic Games, which is really, really exciting. But when I wrote this book, part of the thing I mention and talk about in the book is having an Olympic-level mindset when we're coming to eating. I really believe as God's people, we should be doing this more than ever before. I mean, really, we should be doing everything with absolute excellence. And that's one of the reasons as well. I was really drawn to Jordan. I was drawn to Beyond Organic. This is actually the only company that I know of who does things both organically and biblically at the same time. And I may be jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but you look at this, it's great that, I kind of compare these in three ways. You have conventional food, you have organic, and then you have Beyond Organic, which is a major step up even from organic. And I just want to go over just a few examples of that. Conventional, I'm just going to talk about dairy here first. Conventional dairy today is heated at over 280 degrees, which basically kills off all the enzymes, kills off all the probiotics. In fact, they're saying with now, and this is actually the past 5 years, it used to be what's called high temperature pasteurization. Now it's ultra high temperature pasteurization. So it went from being heated at 161 degrees to 282 degrees is what milk is heated to today. They said, in fact, they said we don't actually have to refrigerate milk today. It would actually stay out for 2 whole weeks. They said, but the consumer isn't ready for that yet. In our typical milk today, they said that just, they couldn't handle that, but you could just sit it on a shelf and have it sit there warm because it's literally a dead food. Also, our cows today, a journal out of Europe just came out with a study, and they said our average dairy today in conventional milk, the stuff that you go pick up in Publix here, has 21 different chemicals and medications with it. Our average cow today is injected with 6 different types of steroid and growth hormones, 5 different types of antibiotics. They've even found things like birth control and statin drugs in some of these cows, and they give some of them painkillers. All of that goes into the cow, that goes into you. That's conventional dairy today. It's a dead, toxic food, one of the worst things you could ever put in our body. Now, take a step over, talking about organic. There's definite benefits to organic. I mean, organic, it's free of chemicals, it's free of pesticides, it's free of those things. But like Mike mentioned earlier, still, milk is pulled from literally hundreds, if not thousands, of farms and cows across the country. They still heat organic milk up to 280 degrees. So though at one point it might have been good, now it's bad. Also, another thing, this is a little bit technical, but they actually they give all of the cows rounds and rounds and rounds of vaccines, which have things like aluminum in them, which actually can affect the cow, that can affect you. There are a number of things we're looking at here, but even just because it says organic or because it says natural, doesn't mean it's the healthiest thing. Is it a step up? Absolutely. But the thing I respect most about Jordan is that, again, we're doing everything not only organically, we're doing things biblically. And God's standards are the best, and that's why, again, we've also made sure our slaughter methods are biblical. And so when you kill a cow, some of us, when I first started hearing about this, I'm like, is it really that big a deal how you kill a cow? But it is. Actually there are 4 main ways, both organically and conventionally, we slaughter cattle today. One is by a blow to the head. They knock them unconscious, and then they start bleeding the animal. Another way is electrocution. That's the most common way. Next most common way is they put them in a gas chamber. And then the other way is a shotgun method where they shoot in the head. Now, I want to mention this. What's happening now is they're finding a lot of our meat today actually has really high levels of stress hormones. Because when you're electrocuting the cow, they don't die instantly. They die over a period of minutes. But when they're under that period of stress, their body starts releasing things like adrenaline and cortisol. High cortisol levels in humans causes some serious aging problems. It causes thyroid issues, a number of health problems, chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue. It can cause a lot of those issues in us today. When those hormones are released in the cow, you eat that meat, that's going into you. So again, one of the biggest reasons why I really, when it comes to red meat today, I pretty much just eat the Beyond Organic meat is because, again, I know it's really the only company out there that does things organically and biblically. And so today is something, what I'm going to be teaching is different than what I typically teach. I have a presentation I typically do with Beyond Organic, but with you guys, I really wanted to get into cleansing and detoxification. So this is the first time I've ever taught this, so if I